book. My name's Rachel Bright and I'm a picture book author, and we're here for Hot Chukanigu to talk to you, our readers, a little bit about our work and our books.
Bok, hello, I'm Jimom Fieldom. I'm a children's book illustrator and I'm very happy to be here with Rachel to answer some of your questions. Let's go for it. Okay, here's the first one, and it's in a packet of chocolate. I might eat the chocolate after.
A few moments later.
So the first question, your illustrations have brought many beloved characters to life. If you could step inside one of the worlds you've created, which one would you choose? And how do you imagine your day unfolding there? That's a good one, that's a good one. I'd probably, where would I go? I think I'd probably go and join Goldie or Gusta in Hawaii, because who doesn't want to go to Hawaii? And I could go for a swim in the sea. I could eat some coconut and mango juice, you know, and I could hear Goldie's songs and maybe have a little ukulele jam with him.
Sounds amazing. Yep. I think I'll be right there with you. Okay, my turn?
Yep.
Okay, let's have a look. Many of your books feature lovable characters. How do you choose which animal best represents the message of each story? Oh, that's a great question. And you know, as a writer, sometimes that's quite difficult to answer because with every story it's slightly different. I feel like sometimes it's the message that comes first, that I want to say something. I love to write about big ideas and small packages, and the animal will come to me as what the best animal is to fit that. And sometimes I see a character, or I think of a character, and I want to write a message for that character, so it goes both ways round. And I think they have to be fun, and Jim makes them super cute every single time and engaging, but often it's the true characteristics of that animal that bring the story alive. So we actually do quite a lot of research for our, even though it's their picture books, like I learn about the place and what that animal's really like, and then we try and kind of weave those parts of that animal into the character and into the story.
We're still hoping for the research trip to Hawaii.
Yeah, that's that would be great, wouldn't it? We've got to live in these places before we write the stories.
I'll try go for another question. Here we go. I'll fill my face with chocolate.
Yeah, I should eat some whilst you're opening.
If you had the chance to collaborate with a character from one of your books as your co-illustrator, who would it be and what kind of story do you think you would create together?
Oh,
that's a tricky one, isn't it?
Yeah.
Who would I create? I think, who would I get? I'd maybe get, I think I'd get the little mouse to sit on my shoulder at the desk, because a whale would like take up too much space.
And no opposable thumbs.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I think the mouse would fill me with, he or she would give me some ideas.
Definitely.
And not take up too much space.
This is true. Never give up. Cute. Have that kind of attitude of carrying on.
The roar that I need.
Absolutely.
In between ideas.
Absolutely.
You know?
I like that. Okay, my turn. There we go. If you had the chance to collaborate with a character from one of your books as your co-author, who would it be, and what kind of story do you think you would create together? So I've got the same question as you, Jim, and now you've taken the mouse, so he's busy in your studio, so I'm going to have to pick another one. And I kind of think it's funny because so many of them have got characteristics, like I don't know if Gusta would actually sit still for long enough to help me with my books, but might inject some fun and creativity. I think they're called Cyril and Bruce in English, but the squirrels from this book, certainly maybe Bruce would be quite diligent, but Cyril not interested at all because he's too busy partying and having fun. Whale, oh, you know what, there's a great character in the whale book, a little crab, and she saves the day by kind of making the lead whale think. So I think actually she might be a great person to have alongside my keyboard. She would make me aware of what I was thinking and doing, and maybe kind of wake me up when I needed to be woken up. So yeah.
Okay, Next one. Do you think it should be mandatory for adults to read picture books?
Oh, yes.
Absolutely, yes. I think there's so many gems of children's books, picture books out there, and I think they're often overlooked.
Yeah.
And we should all be reading children's books, not just picture books, but children's books as well.
Yeah.
To help share that with life, they're gems of life stories, you know?
Kind of like mini like philosophy books in many ways, and there's so many masterpieces out there that, you know, not only are they works of art on every page, but you know, every word in a picture book has to earn its place. So often there's so much thought that's gone into crafting you know,
choosing
a big message into a short story. And we talked about this, but there's a great quote by Maurice Sendak, who wrote Where the Wild Things Are, and he says, I write books and then somebody tells me they're for children. And actually, picture books, I think, are for everybody. I loved them before I became a parent. I had a big collection, obviously a big interest in that. But yeah, there's just things that touch your soul in a way that I find other books don't do that for me. And yeah, so I would say also picture books are a special medium that are shared between an adult and a child. And so there has to be something in them for at every level, you know, 2 or 100.
They're also, I think we're living in a time of like really a golden age of children's books and picture books, and there are just books full of just beautiful, beautiful artwork as well. And I buy books just for myself. My daughter's kind of a little bit too old for the picture books.
So maybe you're never too old.
Well, I'm not too old. She's not in that stage.
Going through different seasons,
but I just like, if I see something I think is beautiful, I'm like, I'm having it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. And last one, here we go. So, your message for the Croatian readers, that's a good one. So maybe we should both answer this as well. So my message would be, just thank you. Hvala. Hvala. Am I saying that right? For us, the idea of our books travelling here through poetic and amazing translation is just something we never dreamed of. When we're creating in our studios back home, the idea that our books would end up in the hands of so many readers is really a wonderful thing. So, and a book without a reader is like a lock without a key. You know, it's nothing until it's read and opened and enjoyed. So thank you very much. That's my message.
To double that, a massive thank you. And it is magical to imagine and to know that these books have been read around the world and enjoyed. It's just, it's
kind
a dream,
of mind-blowing.
really dream come true.
It really is. We've got a little surprise coming.
A little treat for you. A little peek of what's to come next. This is our character and the book you'll be seeing next year in February.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what it's going to be called, but in English he's called Cuthbert the Camel. Yeah. And it's a story. Rachel, what's the story about, just in brief?
So he's having a bit of a bad morning. Things aren't going to plan, but then he meets a little new friend in John the Jerboa, and his day is kind of turned around, and his perspective is turned around by being able to find this smile. So yeah.
There we go.
Thank you so much for listening. It's been such a pleasure to be here, and that's Bok from us.
Bok, thank you very much.